Oh, what? I wasn't done with my food. Well,
Welcome to the CartyCast.
Hi, I'm Bob. This is Jim.
It's your first episode of Oreo ASMR.
Samuel, if you don't stop, I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna kick your ass.
This is Oreo Kitten.
Send
Oh,
Daddy.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Tap, tap.
How you like that?
Oh, shit. I got Oreo on my microphone.
You idiot.
Welcome to the CartyCast.
With your host, Samuel Poe.
And the host with the most, Cameron. I thought we weren't revealing our last names.
I mean,
Episode 4.
Your Honor, I plead the fifth.
I plead. You're too sexy to plead.
Oh, Your Honor.
I already said it was okay to keep the air conditioning off. You can't talk to me like that, Your Honor.
You want, what's that? You want me to bang the gavel of justice down for you?
What's that? You want more Oreo ASMR?
No!
Oreo! Oh. Okay, I need to stop this joke because I'm actually going to start choking.
You idiot.
Cameron, regale us with a wonderful anecdote, with a wonderful life lesson at the end that you have gone through recently.
Remember, kids, if you don't do your work and you slack off in class and you're really just kind of a lazy ass, you can still make the dean's list in college.
Beautiful.
That's it.
Dr. Seuss's adopted son, ?
How did you know?
That rhyming was so great. I mean,
Actually,
I've always called you a bastard, but I didn't know you actually were one. Wow.
I mean, was Dr. Seuss even alive at the same time as either of us?
Doesn't matter. What matters is his sperm ended up in your mom.
I mean,
No more questions.
Nope, he died years before either of us were born.
Ugh. All right,
Thanks,
so we gotta keep things interesting because the pressure of the squad is really something. That was too good. We are too good, and we can't just retire.
I think you mean the squad.
The squad.
Squad.
All right, no more screaming.
Squad.
Squad.
Like a crow. Squad.
The sequel you've all been waiting for. ASMR Squad. With Grant and Grant.
This episode just needs to be titled ASMR.
This episode just needs to be titled We're Out of Ideas.
Wasn't our original idea like crazy cartoon moments?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We could do like a fun episode where we're like screen sharing with each other and like putting on weird YouTube videos. But
honestly,
we did not plan ahead enough for that. And
you think we plan ahead at all?
This will end up being a very bad podcast full of like weird quiet moments if we end up doing that without any planning. So it won't be that this week.
I mean, in 10 years, people will probably end up thinking this episode, despite how terrible it is, was pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean,
what do you want?
I've noticed when you just tend to bullshit people like that.
Yeah, okay. People are bothering the podcast. Welcome back to the podcast.
Samuel, that's why I live alone.
I should live alone. Let's see. With the money I make, I could have a 4-bedroom apartment.
I mean, you could come move in with me and sleep on the dog bed.
The best bed? I mean, yeah. Well, I'd have to really think about it. I mean, I'm in.
It's good enough that the cat steals it.
I mean, if it's good enough for the cat to live as a dog,
Exactly.
and I
Why-
already eat out of a dog food bowl face first anyways.
Yeah, it'd be perfect for you, dude.
It's good cunnilingus practice.
Oh God. Samuel, it's a good thing you're single.
All right. I've got a great idea, okay? This is something that we are both very well versed in within our brains and our minds and with our knowledge.
Point.
We could do an episode on porn, but this week's episode will be on science.
Oh, science.
Science. We about to get all frizzle up in here.
Samuel, I'm a historian, not a scientist.
Exactly. You study the science of history while I study actual science.
If you study actual science, we're in trouble.
I know lots of science, okay?
Okay, how many fingers am I holding up?
2.
You actually got it. I'm surprised.
Because I'm a scientist.
All right, how many am I holding up now?
Well, you are erect. Do I count that?
No, that's not a finger.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's big enough to be a finger either.
Oh, you'd know.
All right. I'm gonna think that you are some kind of simpleton monkey, and I think you are going to keep it with even numbers. So I'm saying 4.
Damn, you actually got it.
You are a simpleton monkey. My scientist
Okay.
brain has outsmarted you.
All right, we gotta try one last time. See if you can get it.
This must be horrible for people just listening to this.
Yeah. Well, you know what? They'll get over it. How many
Okay.
am I holding up now?
Well, you would think that I'm trying to outsmart your simpleton monkey brain by thinking you would pick an odd even number now.
Uh-huh.
So you think I am probably going to pick an odd number, which would make you
Yeah.
want to pick an even number, which would increase
Okay.
your chances of picking an odd number.
Okay.
So I'm going to guess scissors.
Nope, I got 9.
You see, I didn't even know we were doing 2 hands.
Exactly.
But I did just beat you in paper, rock, scissors because I just guessed the
Um,
future where you pick paper.
I mean, I'm very surprised you got 2 out of 3 there. That's the first time you've guessed anything correctly.
I'm shocking you were willing to be honest with me.
I mean, Samuel, I am many things. I am an asshole. I am an idiot. I am a simpleton.
You're just naming my favorite foods.
I am many things, but not a liar.
You are not a liar. Okay. Then we can delve in to my favorite science topics when it comes to the animal kingdom, to the outer reaches of space, to just the science of eyebrows. We can delve into my mind and you can come along on this journey with me. What do you say, partner?
I mean, I'd rather not, but we don't have any other ideas for the podcast, so
We could sit silently and talk about, the weather.
I don't think that'd make a very good
Or we could
episode.
go on a journey of science.
I mean, I guess, but
Follow me, scientist Cameron, to our science lab, where we shall begin our journey of science.
oh God, I'd rather be in a West Virginia coal mine.
So would I. So would I. I don't get that reference.
A lot of
Okay.
my family were coal miners. That's the reference.
Oh, okay. Okay. Were they the successful kind of coal miner or like the sad slavery kind of coal miner?
I'd say somewhere in the middle.
Okay. We will start with this. We will start with this. This is the reason why I love science. Okay. I love science because anyone in the world can love science if you find the right science. Do you agree?
I mean, yeah, I'll agree with that.
For like, because I used to hate science in school because you would have to learn about like the water cycle where water's fucking water
Sam.
and then it
I
gets
think you're
hot.
forgetting the
Huh?
biggest thing they taught us. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Which is great science to learn. Loved that.
But it's the only thing they taught us.
I wish I could have taken a mitochondria class. That would have been, I would have loved science.
Oh God.
But that's the crazy thing about science is you learn like the water cycle and you learn the periodic table and it all sucks. You hate it. It's boring. It's awful. Hate it. But then all of a sudden it's like, this is how diseases work. I think that was when I first really liked science. When we learned about like diseases,
so you
that was
want to be
cool.
more like epidemiology and the study of disease.
I don't even know about that, but I would just say like that was something that actually like fascinated me, that I actually liked learning about.
It is pretty interesting. Like, do you know what the Broad Street pump is?
No.
So pretty much back in London, they were trying to figure out what was causing a big cholera outbreak. And there was one guy, he went around doing a bunch of tests, and eventually he said, hey guys, it's the fucking water causing it. There's something in the water. And they were like, nah.
Common sense, guys.
Well, the common sense at the time was miasma.
Oh, magic.
That it was airborne, essentially.
The science of magic. That's kind of crazy.
I mean, I told you I've been reading a book on witchcraft.
Well, you are a butch reading a butch.
Yeah. Thank you, Samuel, for that enlightened take.
The butch witch Cameron.
I am the butch witch.
He will cast spells, but he can also do auto repair. The butch witch.
Auto repair? That's what you're going with?
Yes.
You could have had an easy butcher joke.
Nah.
I know nothing
I'm
about
thinking
toys.
of a different kind of butch. I don't know.
Samuel, shut the hell up.
But yeah, like I liked the science of diseases. It was really cool learning about like, because like it's a completely different experience. You can go from like you're sitting down and you're taking a test and it's like, yeah, the water gets hot and then it turns into a cloud, then it rains again, but then you sit down and it's like, oh, how did the plague work? And you're like, oh, I remember how the plague worked, and you write like 11 paragraphs happily.
Dude, the plague is fucking wild.
Did you see that awesome
video? Dude, it was wild though.
All right.
mean, did you see that video? Like, I think it was a year ago or so. This guy was talking about how there were cases of plague.
Yeah, the plague is
in
still
like
around.
People, it never went away. Like, it's still in New Mexico. They have cases every year. Mm-hmm. We just know how to treat it. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's just like you take a pill and you're okay.
Like, we've only eradicated a couple of diseases, and the plague ain't one of them.
All right. Here's a fun idea. We now both have to create a disease that would be the most destructive to the other person. Let me think here. The most horrible disease for Cameron possible. Mm-hmm. Well, I think you've already caught it. I just created a disease that makes all women in a 5-mile radius completely run away from you. It's been working for years.
You know, Samuel.
Yes.
I want you to remember, I know where you live.
I know where you live.
You haven't even been to my apartment.
No, I haven't. But I can transition as a woman and you can make me run away too.
You're fucked up, you know that?
I already want to run away, honestly.
I hate you.
My adrenaline glands are telling me to just turn off this podcast for my own safety.
I mean...
Do I need to leave my last will and testament in this episode?
What I think I will do is I will make a disease that keeps you at 9 subscribers and almost no viewers for the entirety of your YouTube career. But you always have the urge to keep making videos. Yes.
I didn't know I had a weak spot.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That one's genuinely like, ouch.
You forget, I know you pretty well too.
Oh no. You die a virgin and I die like a hopeless maniac.
I mean, you're already hopeless, that's for sure.
I'm close to being a maniac. Not quite there yet.
No, just a little. I could push you over the edge anytime.
I think I fall more on the lunatic scale.
Oh, God.
Not quite maniac. That's going a bit too far. You know what's crazy? We're going back to science here. You know what's something that's like absolutely wild to me?
What?
Nobody in the world seems to appreciate. Oh, I burped.
You're an idiot.
Nobody in the world seems to appreciate how freaking insane boobs are. Nobody does.
I think they do, Samuel.
No. Not in an attractive way, in a scientific way, how insane they are.
Explain this to me.
All right. Because first of all, I think it's pretty common sense for everybody to realize how like crazy the female body is compared to the male body. Ours doesn't do anything weird, you know.
I will say females definitely have a harder time than
we
males.
Just have tartar sauce on the go, and that's about it. You know, we don't really do anything too special.
Yeah, they have a lot more pain that they have to deal with.
Their bodies,
like actual pain.
Their bodies make people. They make them inside of them. And then they can walk around with a person inside of them and just hold it. Like it doesn't break. Everything stays in place. Like as a woman gets pregnant, their like organs and stuff get rearranged everywhere and they're okay. That's crazy.
Women do all the heavy lifting and
then
pregnancy.
They can shoot this person out of their body. And then their body can just heal like nothing happened. All of that's already crazy. And all of that gets appreciated. But then nobody wants to sit down and also appreciate the science going on with the boobs while all this is happening. Because do you know what those are doing?
What are they doing, Samuel?
They are making a super serum. I watched a science video on this. Have you like learned about the science of breast milk?
I have not learned that science.
It is actually crazy. Like it's like actually some of like the craziest things like in the animal kingdom that animals can create. Like it literally has like 17 different like vitamins in it, like all kinds of crazy stuff, and it has the capabilities with the antibodies inside of it to be able to like prevent more than 600,000 diseases. So after the female body does all of that, the mom can pick up a baby and just be like, yeah, 600,000 diseases aren't going to affect my baby, just like that. And nobody wants to appreciate that it's the boob that's doing that. Nobody wants to appreciate that.
I think the gist of what Samuel is saying is that women are a lot cooler than men just because of the things that they are able to do.
No, this is a message for men because men just go booba hot and that's all that they think about. Nobody wants to stop and realize that that's literally like super serum. Like we could take that, inject it in our veins and become Captain America, but nobody wants to think about that part. It's just booba hot, and that's all our stupid little man brain wants to think about.
I mean, you're kind of right, but
that's crazy. You know what?
The way you phrased all of that.
That's why it must be the life being a boob doctor, I swear.
I mean,
that really has to be the life at the end of the day. Not even in a sexual way. Just like think about it. If you were the person who wanted to become a doctor who dedicated their life to studying a part of the body, you know, and you've got like this table of doctors all sitting around, and there's just like the foot doctor who had to spend their day.
Yes, a podiatrist.
And then there's a spine doctor who had to spend their day
I don't know the
touching
term for it.
spines. And then there's the butt doctor,
The proctologist.
who has to spend their day touching butts.
Inside. No, not touching. Inside.
And then they're all sitting down. They're all miserable. They've all got drinks. They've had hard days, and rightfully so. And then the boob doctor comes in and was like, ugh, I had such a hard day. I had to use my doctor knowledge to touch soft, wonderful things all day. But you other doctors can relate, can't you? And then they all just have a look of anger at the boob doctor.
Samuel, you have too much time on your hands. You know that?
It's just a fact. That's like not even in a sexual way. You are the doctor who's in charge of touching just what? Like there's all kinds of advantages. They all come in different shapes and sizes and weights. So, I mean, every day, like patient to patient, there's variety. There's different things going on. All feet are about the same, nothing too interesting going on with feet. But you got all kinds of crazy things that can go on day to day as the boob doctor. And it's not like you ever have a problem touching them, examining them. They're a pleasant part of the body. But then the proctologist, he can't touch his wife anymore, And then meanwhile, the boob doctor.
Samuel. Women don't have prostates.
Exactly. And then the boob doctor wants to sit down and be like, man, I had to work overtime. My day was so hard, and none of the doctors like him. None of them know why he's hanging out with them. Nobody likes the boob doctor. They all. So
you're saying that there's this clique within the medical society of everyone against.
There is one doctor per doctor practice, and they all have this friend group, and nobody likes the boob doctor. None of them. They all hate him. They all want him to get kicked out. But this is a public bar, and they're not going to cause any problems. But they all secretly, deep down, nobody's sending the boob doctor a Christmas card.
I think a lot of people are saying.
None of these doctors are doing it.
I think you've thought far too much into this.
What do you mean? I'm making this up on the spot.
I think that's even worse. I think that you have serious issues. I think that you have a strange fascination.
All I'm saying is I sat down and I just had to work 16 hours straight doing brain surgery. And I'm sitting down and I'm exhausted. And then the doctor next to me is like, yeah, I had to spend 16 hours touching breasts. We both had a hard day today, didn't we, Dr. Brain Surgeon? No, we didn't. We've had two very different days today. Let's trade jobs. That's all I have to say.
I mean, you gotta think though, being a doctor has to be like a very fulfilling job.
Sure.
In the right circumstances.
But they all have very different degrees of difficulty level.
Oh, I know,
Samuel. That causes tension in the doctor community.
I mean, I don't know anything about the doctor community and
I feel like knowing nothing, but just due to my imagination, I know it pretty well.
So in other words, you know jack shit.
You know what though? The sad thing is my idealized fantasy of what it's like being a boob doctor isn't actually the case.
I know it's not.
Because in reality, what a boob doctor's actual job is testing for breast cancer. And that kind of ruins the job completely now, doesn't it?
Samuel!
I would not want to become a breast cancer doctor because that I want to be the opposite of that. I want to be the doctor who sits down and tells you how healthy your boobs are and then sends you on your way.
I mean, but here's the thing though,
if you're testing
for breast cancer, you're gonna have a lot of people who they come back and they don't have it, and you get to do that.
Bad results where the cancer machine says yes, cancer, and I could never do that to someone.
And that's why you're not
horrible.
a doctor and you never will be.
I only want to tell you why they're healthy. That's what you
Samuel.
come to me for. I go, they're great. Next patient, they're also great. Next patient, and I'm living it up. Life
Samuel,
is wonderful.
What you want then is you want to be a boob admirer. You just want to tell everyone that their boobs are amazing and healthy.
But I don't get paid for that.
I mean, you could in the right circuit. There are a lot of people who just need that sort of confidence boost.
Yeah, but
and I'm not even kidding. Like, people will get made up for so much stupid shit. Like, it ain't funny.
True. Well, then maybe we should start my dream business together. We can call it the FBI, and nobody will come to our building for the right reason.
I think that they will Google us, and they will actually. No, I'm not even. I would.
Who's that guy who tells you your boobs are great? Oh, the FBI. Let's Google them real quick. Oh, they do a lot more than I thought they did.
Well, no, Samuel. You see, I thought about this further.
Okay.
Working for a health department, during a pandemic, we had a big sign that said COVID testing at this location.
Right.
Really very hard to miss. Then we had another sign that said, no COVID testing here.
So you're lying.
I say it says it's at a different location. We just have it in front of our building.
Okay.
And people walk in, no mask, no nothing, and say,
one COVID test, please.
I've been exposed to COVID. Can I get a COVID test, please?
Just one for the road,
And, and then we have to tell them, no, we don't do that here. You have to go to this location. And they're like, really? It's like, we have a sign. We have this online too.
Oh,
don't get mad at me.
Can't you just look up how to do it? I'm already here.
Yeah, that we actually have to give them the information.
What, you guys care about the integrity of medicine? Come on, just tell me if I have it or not.
Oh God.
So
now, Samuel,
you don't want to create my boob admiring business with me.
I mean,
I
think I'm good.
The boob admiring business, Bab.
I think I'm good, Samuel.
Well, we don't have medical degrees, so it wouldn't be official.
Well, would you like to talk about the science of coincidence?
The science of coincidence?
And I'll use
Wouldn't this be the philosophy of coincidence?
I don't know.
Okay, go on.
I'm going to give you my favorite example.
Okay.
All right? July 4th, 1776.
Mm-hmm.
Our favorite boys, Johnny Adams.
My man.
And T. Jefferson.
Yes.
They just finished up. They got the Declaration of Independence. They really did the most to get it done. Fast forward 50 years later.
Mm-hmm.
July 4th, 1826. They're fucking old now, all right?
Yes, as you do when you age.
Yeah. They're former presidents.
They
hated
age
each other.
old.
They hated each other for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Became friends again. Now you got John Adams. He's dying in bed. He's like, ah!
That's how you're gonna die too.
Exactly.
Very dramatically, because I'm strangling you.
And
you're not even old. It's just tomorrow.
But he's laying there. He's dying. And he gets up and he says something. He's like, Jefferson still lives. It's like, okay, that now we go to several hours earlier, like in a cartoon or something. A flashback to earlier that day. You got Thomas Jefferson.
3 hours earlier. You're still being strangled by me.
And Jefferson, he's like, I don't need any more medicine. And then he dies, right? And then we go back to later in the day where we started. You have Adams. Jefferson still lives. And then he dies.
Okay.
And that's it. That's the coincidence.
That's not a coincidence. He died.
They both died on the same day, though.
And
hours apart
uh-huh.
on the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence.
No,
Think about
that's not a good story. That's an awful story.
I'm gonna kick your ass, Samuel.
Why?
Because that is a good story.
Okay, you know what? I was so upset about that story that I went on my phone and I Googled good coincidence stories, and now I'm on a parenting blog. So I don't know how I ended up here.
Because you're an idiot.
If your little one gets too hyper, come up with a code word to remind him to stop the action without embarrassing you. Whenever Tucker started getting too rowdy in a group, oh, it's an ad. So I guess we'll never know what Tucker used to do.
Dude, I looked up good coincidence stories and the one I just told came up.
No, that was awful. All right,
Samuel,
tell
I
the
think you're just
story.
an idiot.
Tell the story again the way that the website writes it. Maybe you're just a bad storyteller.
Samuel, I was hamming it up for you because I know you have a short attention span.
Well, now give it to me, Turkey.
Okay, let me get down. I think it was like number 3 on the list.
That was a smart joke. Give it to me, Turkey, he said. And then the comedy award.
Oh, I'll give it to you.
The comedy award went to Markiplier, but it was an honor to be nominated.
Shut the hell up. Come on, load.
Your mom needs to take a fat load.
Oh, shut up. All right. The relationship between former presidents Thomas Jefferson and John Adams took quite a few twists and turns over the years. They began as allies, then gradually grew into adversaries as their politics divided them. As the last 2 surviving members of the American Revolutionaries from the British Empire, they were eventually reconciled and corresponded by letter until their final years. They famously died within hours of one another on the same day in 1826, on the 4th of July, no less.
I guess the way you said it's kind of better.
I think you just don't have a good appreciation of it because you don't know that much about them.
But also, it still just sucks.
I mean, they're both dead. What do they care?
Yeah, they don't really need my opinion, do they?
No. I just think, all right, here's one for you. So, John Wilkes Booth may have been fucking the fiance of Abraham Lincoln's son.
That is okay. That's a story that needs a lot of explaining.
So
that's very weird.
John Wilkes Booth was obviously a big actor back in his day.
Right.
And there was a senator named John Hale. He had a daughter named Lucy Hale. He had some sort of relationship with Lucy. He may have even asked her to marry her, but there's a lot that isn't really known and is kind of speculation.
He wasn't special.
They think they had a sexual relationship.
Ooh.
And they obviously, her and Lincoln's son didn't get married after he found out about that.
Ooh. And so now she is slut-shamed forever.
Most people don't really know about her.
Game of Thrones style.
I mean, trying to think of any other good coincidences.
Why does it have to be coincidences? I thought this was science.
I just like coincidences, okay?
Oh, yeah? Okay. I got a coincidence for you.
What?
Me and you are sitting at a table, right?
Okay.
You say something that angers me just as I decide to raise my fist and move it towards your face.
Okay.
Coincidence?
I think not. All right. I got one for you, Samuel.
Oh, yeah?
We're on a balcony, and you say something to me that makes me mad right as I'm putting my hand to your back to push you over the balcony. Coincidence?
Yes. Okay, here we go. It's time to get back to science. That's the subject we were supposed to be talking about. And I've
Samuel.
got my first piece of cool science trivia for you. You ready for this?
Okay.
How many more bones are babies born with than fully grown adults?
I'm gonna take a guess of 26.
You are not even close.
How many?
100.
Damn.
As babies begin to age through adolescence, many of their bones will begin to morph into one solid piece of bone, resulting in the human body having less bones over time. So babies start out with 300 little bones that'll all morph together as they age.
Ooh.
Let's see here. How much of the Amazon rainforest creates Earth's oxygen?
10%.
20%.
Hey, I was closer.
Oh, here's something interesting. Some
What?
metals are so radioactive that they can explode with just a drop of water.
Ooh.
Ooh, this podcast is going
Plutonium.
nowhere, huh?
I mean, Samuel, we don't plan shit out.
No, we don't.
You get very edgy.
Well, as I'm supposed to.
I have to try and draw you back.
Draw me back, please.
Then I have to kick you in the ass.
As you always have to.
You're kind of a bitch.
I am kind of a bitch.
You're
Who
ugly.
taught me how to be a bitch? That's the real question.
I disowned you as my son.
And I ate your table scraps on your porch.
Yeah, I'm still confused on that.
Cold
I buried
nights.
you underneath my
You
floorboards.
pretty much gave me Doofenshmirtz's childhood.
I made you a lawn gnome. I wasn't there for your birth.
The science of Doofenshmirtz, the psychology of that man. Here we
Oh
go.
no, I'm going to be ugly. Oh, ha ha, very funny. Oh, that was such a good
Scariest
show.
thing about Phineas and Ferb though is
What?
that balloon.
Oh,
Can't stand that balloon.
I can't remember what his name was.
It can talk, can it? Something like that.
I don't know.
It
Was
was
it-
so weird.
Wasn't its name something stupid like Balloony?
It was Balloony. And it was like
Balloony.
Doofenshmirtz's best friend.
Oh, dude, Doofenshmirtz is so funny.
Doofenshmirtz is an American treasure that nobody appreciates enough.
You want to feel really old, Samuel?
What's that?
Phineas and Ferb started in 2007.
I believe that.
Like,
That doesn't feel
oh,
too out of date.
I know, but it makes me feel old.
I just started watching Chowder, and that started up in 2007. I've been having
Oh,
a blast with Chowder.
I told you, Chowder is great.
Chowder is so okay. I had no idea how to appreciate the voice acting of Chowder until I reached this age. How is it so good?
It is like for his thing.
Wow. Even just like little things like Gazpacho, the voice actor for Gazpacho is so incredible, and nobody talks about it. He's so good.
It was a show that really would have done a lot better if it had some better wingmen.
Yeah, well, and it was also really getting like outshined on Cartoon Network.
I
Like,
don't know.
Chowder was
2007 wasn't
playing
the best
in like
year.
the era of like original Teen Titans, Flapjack.
I think original Teen
Codename
Titans
Kids
had
Next
gone
Door.
off by the time that most of those shows were ending by the time Chowder came on, though.
No, most of those shows were starting to end around 2010. This is 2007.
No, Teen Titans that ended in 06. Not Teen
Really?
Titans Go.
I find that hard to believe.
I know it's weird. Let me find it just to make sure.
Either way, I'm still pretty certain with my stand that Chowder didn't really get to shine the way it should have.
Oh, no, it
Hard to
didn't.
stand out.
But I think the problem was it just had a lot of other crappy shows around it. Like,
Oh,
it
yeah.
came in after a lot of really good shows ended, and the few other good shows no one really came as much because of how bad some of the other shows were.
I don't think the other shows of that era were bad. What? There was like Kid Next Door. I loved Kid
I'm not
Next Door.
talking about that, but most of those shows were starting to end by then.
Well, then what are you thinking were the shows that were on around Chowder?
I gotta look it up. I'm trying to remember the name.
I mean, what? This is way before Adventure Time and regular show started up.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is that I'm trying to look at, like, there's a specific worst era for Cartoon Network, and I think like 07 to 2010 is considered to be in that.
Well, I mean, but that's still the era of like.
I'm not saying that all the shows were bad. I'm just saying it's the one where the shows. Yeah, the 2000 summer 7 was about when it started to go down, because I think that's where when they started the live action block.
Oh, when like Tobuscus was on Cartoon Network.
Like, do you remember the Cartoon Network Ghost Show?
I don't.
It was called The Other Siders. I remember watching it.
Why would they do live? Okay, on one hand, I'm like, why would they do live action shows on Cartoon Network? But on the other hand, I remember watching that show Incredible Crew and loving it.
I think the issue isn't that we didn't personally like the shows, but looking back, they were not that good.
Well, I'm thinking about all these shows very fondly.
Well, you can think about something fondly, but it not be good.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm really struggling to see what you mean by bad TV shows. Okay, so
hang on, I got a list for you. This might help.
I'm right. Look, like all the shows of 2007, you've got Total Drama season 1.
That was a good one.
Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Kids Next Door, Samurai Jack.
But I'm saying though, this is when things started to go.
Batman Brave and the Bold.
Hold on, Samuel. I'm saying
Ed and Eddie, Billy and
This is when
Mandy.
Things started to go downhill. Like
none
Ed
of these.
It ended in 2007.
Ben 10, Chaotic,
Right.
None of these are downhill shows. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Samuel, I'm not saying those are the bad shows.
These are the shows that are coming up.
Samuel, I'm saying though those shows started to end around this time.
No, these are the shows that are playing at this time.
But I'm saying that they were either ending or they were reruns and they started. Like the original rerun of Samurai Jack, for example, was from 01 to 04. Ed, and Eddie was 99 to 2007. I think, what was one of the other ones you named?
Camp Lazlo, My Gym Partner's a Monkey.
That one was all right. That wasn't that good. Like, yeah, Camp Lazlo ended in 08. I mean, I'm saying though that at this time, a lot of the shows that would hang on, let me finish.
Here we go. No, I found a bad show. Do you remember Jackie Chan Adventures?
Actually, I like that shit, but
no, I remember that show, the action in that show being very bad.
But this is when like 2006 and 2007 is when they started getting in a lot of those shows that would bring about that sort of bad era. I'm not saying there weren't still good shows that were on.
Can you really call 1 year an era?
You can if it's that bad.
Okay.
And it went from about 07 to 2010.
I fast forwarded to 2009. Regular show has officially begun.
Yep.
Star Wars has officially begun.
No, that began in 08. I know for a fact.
Yeah, I Googled 2009.
But I'm saying it was a short era, but those are the shows that kind of helped bring it out of it.
Okay, here's some of those live action shows you were talking about.
I have a list. Let me do that because I remember a lot of those, okay? And I'm going to start with the one that started it all.
Destroy, Build, Destroy.
Out of Jimmy's Head.
Brain Rush.
Do you remember that, Samuel?
I never watched it.
Yeah. Do you want to know it? It was like really weird. This kid gets hit by a train at an amusement park.
Uh-huh.
They have like an entire team of like neurosurgeons who work as mascots at the park. One of the guys has the brain of like this big important cartoon creator, and they just give this kid the brain.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, remember how bad that was?
Okay.
But do you remember what I'm saying with these live action shows kind
I
of
guess.
tarnishing Cartoon
But
Network, kind
I
of
guess.
tarnishing Cartoon
But
Network?
all right, but I also liked Hole in the Wall.
I'm not saying you can't like some of these shows, but I'm saying though that they are kind of responsible for Cartoon Network being kind of bad.
All right. But here is something that's going to blow your mind, okay? The
What?
ultimate nail in the coffin, number one reason why you can never say that there was ever really that none of these years can be bad years, because I just googled 2000. You're trying to argue 2007 to 2010, right? I've just had my
I'm not
defense.
saying that there weren't good shows. I'm saying a lot of the shit they were pushing and really trying to hammer in
The
and make
only
the
show that I
mainstay.
agree with you was a bad show was Johnny Test.
Johnny Test was shit. And here's the thing about Johnny Test. I love the guy who voices Johnny Test because
He's a
do you
good
know what
voice
else
actor.
he's in? What do you
You
know what
tell
else
me.
he's in?
I
He
think
is
so.
in Star Wars The Clone Wars as
That's it.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And I love him in that. I still think he's an amazing voice actor, even in Johnny Test. I just hate that show.
Dookie the dog. Okay. I'm about to blow your mind though. Do
I
you
gotta
know
hear
what
it.
started 2009?
I'm
The-
gonna guess Adventure Time.
The Superhero Squad.
Oh, is that the one where they
It's
were like almost
the
like
little
little chibis?
Yeah, the Chibi Avengers.
I'm gonna say this, Samuel. That show was good, but it does not get talked about or remembered that much.
Because
And
I think
that's my
people
point.
have forgotten about it.
But that's my point, though, Samuel. A lot of really good shows were getting made at that time, but they were getting pushed to the side because of they were trying to focus on live action shows. And that's why I call it a bad era, because
Yeah.
the really good shows were getting pushed to the side.
Oh, this
Like, there
show
was-
was awful. Hot
What
Wheels
show?
Battle Force.
I remember that show.
Hot Wheels Battle Force.
I had toys from that show.
I remember McDonald's did toys for it.
I was so into it. You remember the big battle station they had?
Yeah.
I had that.
What?
Yeah, and I was like so freaking happy.
I remember
My parents got it
never
as a
liking that
birthday
show.
present. Like,
Yo. Okay, this is just a trip down memory lane now, because now I just stumbled upon the original Mad cartoons.
oh, are you talking about the Cartoon Network one or the original?
The Cartoon Network one.
I didn't like that one.
Mr. Black and Mr. White. They were funny though.
That was the only part of it I liked. I didn't really like any of it else.
And the most, okay, I may actually make a video on this. Honestly, the most underrated show in the history of Cartoon Network. I'm telling you this right now. You may not even know what this show is. Hero
What?
108.
Dude, I loved Hero 108.
It is so good.
Dude,
Oh,
Ling
man.
Chung. But that's another one of those really good shows, in my opinion, that didn't get the recognition it deserved because of live action.
Oh, this show was awful. Superior Defender Gundam Force.
Dude, do you remember the dude who had the freaking eyeballs they would shoot lightning out of?
Yes. Dude.
What?
Almost Naked Animals.
I did not like that.
That was the best show ever.
Okay, I'm trying to look up other shows. And I'm looking up run dates.
I have so many shows to rewatch now.
Okay.
Almost Naked Animals. Ninjago started 2010. What?
That was good shit. I like
Generator
Ninjago.
Rex. Generator
Dude.
Rex was awesome.
Okay, hang on. Here's one for you. Do you remember Symbionic Titan?
I didn't like it.
Dude!
I'm sorry. I thought there was too many shows to watch back then, man.
Okay, that one got screwed over for a different reason, though. Because it couldn't get a toy line.
Well, even then, it was just like, it's just this weird mishmash anime style that I just couldn't get behind.
Oh, Samuel, it's from the same guy who did Samurai Jack.
You see, I can't even recognize that.
Because he's doing his distinctive style, but he had to do it in flash animation this time.
This is when the Pokemon Black and White cartoons started coming on too.
See, I kind of lost interest after that one because I didn't like some
Oh
of the
no,
characters.
Pokemon Black and White is my era of Pokemon.
No, I was a Sinnoh Legion guy.
Yeah, and that's just because we're two different generations.
I'm older. You can just say it.
There's okay, you're older, but there's nothing
Fuck
there's
you.
nothing wrong with either generation in my opinion. But Black and
No.
White, oh, Dexter's Laboratory.
Dude.
Now
That
was
show-
a show that ended before like I even really started watching Cartoon Network.
This thing, that one spawned a lot of really good creators though.
Really? Like who?
I'm trying to think. I think Seth MacFarlane was on that.
Really?
I gotta look up who was. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know a lot of people were on it.
Ooh, okay. So I go to 2007 to 2010. It's like a ton of shows that I need to like rewatch because I loved them, but I don't remember them. Now I Google 2013, and now these are all shows that I know very well that I have very strong opinions about.
Here's the thing, Samuel. You were there during the era that we were just talking about, but you weren't there as much as I was.
I wasn't really experiencing it because I'm looking at all these shows. Like I'm looking at Almost Naked Animals, and I'm like, I recognize the show so well, but I can't tell you a single thing about it.
Okay, Samuel. I have a list of some of the people it had.
Okay.
The series is notable for helping launch the careers of animators Craig McCracken, Seth MacFarlane, Butch Hartman, Paul Rudish,
Hartman.
Yeah, and Rob Renzetti.
Wait, how does it set off Seth MacFarlane's career if Family Guy started in the 90s?
Well, here's the thing. Let me look up the original runtime because it helps set off his career because I don't think Family Guy started until 99.
Right.
And Dexter's Lab started in 96.
Oh, okay. So Dexter's Laboratory was his foot in the door show. Okay.
Pretty much, I'd say.
Butch Hartman. I know a lot of people have very strong feelings about Butch Hartman.
He hasn't done anything good in a while, and I don't like him as much. I like a lot of his older work still, and I have respect for that, but
I don't really even know anything about that. All I hear about is how horrible he is to fans.
Yeah, how bad he is now.
Mm-hmm. And he's got an ego about him, but at the end of the day, if you're not really into animation, Butch Hartman is nowhere near like a celebrity.
Yeah. He has like
an ego,
inflated ego.
Yeah,
but we don't like people with egos in general.
Yeah,
but if
it's not even deserved, is the thing.
For guys like Butch Hartman, his career really is made by his fans.
It really is. Like he's very wealthy and very successful, but he's nowhere near like a celebrity. You know, he just made Fairly Odd Parents, and so
Samuel.
What?
I just thought I don't know if you ever seen this one. Class of 3000.
Let me Google it.
It is something else. Okay, it was amazingly strange, and I love it, but I just have vague memories of it.
I do not recognize this show at all.
Yeah, it's one of those shows. Like it kind of got. The thing about cartoons is that there's so many at any given time.
I really like the art, but I don't recognize this at all.
You need to look up some episodes. It was like big on like jazz music, I think, if I remember correctly.
Oh, you see, I was so into action shows. I don't even know if I would have wanted to watch it.
Look up who created it. Like it was Andre 3000, one of the dudes from Outkast.
Okay.
Like it had some real talent behind it. I'm
finding some very, very weird shows now. I'm
looking through this list and I'm like, I don't remember some of these.
These are some crazy weird memories that are popping up now. Like 16. Did you ever watch that?
Dude, that was like the show from my heyday, okay?
What? I remember watching maybe 2 episodes of this in my lifetime.
Here's the thing though, Samuel, and this is gonna go back to that generation thing. is that it was much more prominent when I was younger. Like,
What? Justice League Unlimited is from 2005? It's that old?
yeah.
That's mind-blowing to me because the animation is still so good. What?
So, Samuel, here's to why you may not know 16 as much. In the US, it originally aired from December of 2005 to May of 2006 on Nickelodeon.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was put on Cartoon Network from 2008 to 2010.
Right.
So that's probably why.
Okay,
and then
now
Total Drama
this-
Island was the big thing from that same company.
This is
So-
weird. The original Zatch Bell. Did you ever watch that?
The original, what was it?
Zatch Bell. It was like a 4Kids anime that they had.
Zatch Bell.
Like kids at Shallow Water used to collect the cards for it. It was a
I
weird
don't know
show.
that one. Did you ever watch the Secret Saturdays?
I think so. I used to watch. I was a Cartoon Network kid, or I was a.
I
Cartoon,
was too.
I
It
was
was
a
a Cartoon
Cartoon
Network
Planet
show.
kid. That's what I was watching.
Okay.
Cartoon Planet.
See, I was big Cartoon Network, so that's why I have such strong opinions on it.
Yeah, I was big on Cartoon Network too, but like my saga
main.
that I was going through was when they were doing the Cartoon Planet run. Because that was like the cat and the bug alien guys. They would sing the Cartoon Planet song. And then,
I remember that.
Yeah.
Because they brought those
and
guys
then it
back
would
from
be-
Space Ghost.
And then they would give you one episode of all the new shows.
Dude. Oh my God.
Oh, here was a show that I hear is actually very good, but I never watched it because I thought it was just for girls.
What is it?
Totally Spies.
That was a good show.
I hear it's actually a very good show. Never.
Okay,
gave
I
it
don't
a
think
chance.
it's good, but it's very enjoyable.
I never gave it a chance. Never.
I mean, it does. There was like a spin-off of that too, where it was like just for like kids. And I remember watching that one.
Yeah, it definitely seems like a more girl focused show.
It was a good show though. I mean, I liked it. Did you ever see the Thundercats reboot? Not the one they did a couple years ago, but the one they did in like
The Cartoon
2010?
Network era Thundercats, right?
like the one that was like they were doing a lot of time and dedication to it, you know, and it was like a really respectable adaptation.
Well, you see, I just Googled it. This isn't the one I was looking for.
Thundercats 2011. That's the one I'm talking about.
Thundercats 2011. Yes. It only got one season?
I thought it got two.
According to what I just Googled, it only got one.
I'm
You know what it is, though? I never actually really watched this show. I think I just watched the pilot.
dude.
Because
I
that
watched.
came on
I
a
saw
lot.
the pilot. I remember watching that. I was hooked. I thought it was really good. I was like, man, I like this. You know
Will Friedle.
what?
Oh, I'm looking at the voice actors now.
Dude.
Oh, whoever played the voice of the main Thundercat was also big on Batman Beyond.
Who'd you say it was?
Will Friedle or something like that. This
Oh.
animation is so jarring to look back on it now because I had no idea how stylized the show was.
That's the thing. Looking back on some of these older shows, it's so weird. But all right, Samuel, we've just about reached our time, but me and you can continue this conversation.
This episode got really boring, didn't it?
It got well.
I kind of forgot we were recording.
I did too. So I say we go ahead and end it. They can deal with it.
You know what?
boring.
This is the CartyCast, and you know what? This is our first episode where we talked about cartoons.
Look, we're gonna go off on tangents. Not every episode's gonna be.
This
good.
was the cartoon episode. Good job, us.
All right. We'll see you guys later.
Okay.
Bye, bitches.
Are you sure you want to stop recording?
Yeah. So we can just keep talking and go.
Are you
mad.
sure?
Yes.
Haven't clicked it yet. Any
End it,
last
Samuel.
words? Any last words?
Samuel's a bitch.
I am.